here. I am at 4 months and 2 days since my surgery, which was May 28th, 2014. I had my vertical sleeve gastrectomy. I've been putting this off. I don't know why, but here I am, and I thought I'd go over a few things with you. It's been a while. So first, I will talk about my weight. I am down 92 pounds from my highest weight. I was at 289. I'm down to 197. I'm so 92 pounds total, 40 pounds since I started this process. So, and I think the most important thing is I'm down 32 inches, which is a lot of inches. So I feel really good about that. Jeannie was over the other day and I tried on something that was a staple in my wardrobe, a big jean shirt. And I could never do up the bottom buttons even because it didn't fit me really well. And I put it on the other day and I was just swimming in fabric. And so at that point I decided I'm going to go by how my clothes are fitting me, and I'm going to stop giving the scale so much power over me. So I've given Riley the scale. I told him if I asked for it back, not to fight me over it, but to give it to me on Wednesdays. So I will weigh in once a week, and I think I'm brave enough to do that now. It feels like there's a process to this, and you have to find your own comfort level with this. I wasn't ready to look at this in a way other than pounds before now. It was all about the weight, and on my Facebook pages and support groups, it's all about the weight. I'm sure there are hundreds and hundreds of people who use other measures of happiness as far as how well the surgery's done for them, but weight is the number one thing. And I don't know about men, but I know for women, I have friends who haven't had the surgery and they weigh every day and they weigh at night as well. And so I know I'm not alone in that. Nothing wrong with that. Just for me, I think I need to stop doing that. So, people have been asking for a body shot. I'm a little uncomfortable doing this, but I promised it. So give me a sec and I'll give this a shot and see if I can make this work. One sec. Okay. Let's see how I can do here. So this is me. Can't see my legs, I guess. This is my back. This is my front. Yeah, I didn't do it before, so there's nothing to compare to, but I'm feeling pretty good about things, so we'll go from there. I have some notes, so don't mind me looking back and forth. I had a lot to say, and I want to keep it concise, so I'm just going to refer to my notes. Because I'm losing slowly, I haven't had the side effect of losing hair. And that's one of the big things I'm finding with people who've been out the same amount of time as I have from surgery, 4 months or so, 3 months actually it started. I'm seeing more now though, people saying they're losing a ton of hair and showing pictures of how much hair they've lost. And I think because I am a slow loser, I'm not dealing with the hair loss. I'm also not dealing with the extra skin that a lot of people are complaining about. I've read a few things where people have said they were happier in the skin they were in when they were overweight compared to now with the skin sagging. So yeah, I've been told all along that slow is good. And when you stop comparing yourself to other people, you can see that being true. Initially, it's difficult to believe that, but I think I'm at that point now. So, and I don't have any cravings. I haven't fallen off the bus. I think the one extravagant thing I've had is wine. And the other thing I really wasn't even going to tell you about, but I'll be honest about this, is I've had some Lindt 70% cocoa chocolate. I had a couple squares at my 3-month surgery, and I had some 2 days ago as well. I'm tracking it on my MyFitnessPal. I'm counting the calories and the carbs and the fat, and so it's going into my daily caloric count. So I don't consider it cheating. But other than that, no processed food at all. So I think I'm doing well. I'm pretty strict on myself, and it's not hard anymore. It's just the natural way of doing things. This all gets a lot easier as you go out. It seems like a lot to demand from yourself initially, but it's sort of a habit now. So it's not a big deal for me. I'm doing well. I thought I'd let you know what I'm eating. I'm eating mostly protein. So, protein powder is something I start every morning with, protein powder and milk. That's about 35 grams of protein right there. So whatever I eat in the day, I always end up at my protein goal, which is anywhere between 75 to 90 grams of protein. My nutritionist wanted 70, but it's pretty easy for me to get above that as far as protein goes. I'm eating salmon, tuna, milk, yogurt, eggs, cheese. She wants 20% milk fat or less for cheese, which really cuts out all the yummy cheese I love, but that's okay. Cottage cheese, almond butter, beans, tomatoes, avocados, watermelon, some berries here and there. I'm trying a few more vegetables, but the thing is they want you eating protein first. So if you eat protein first and you still have room, then they're okay with you having vegetables and then fruit. Like I've said all along, I don't feel the restriction that people feel after this surgery. Even though 85% of my stomach is gone, I don't feel the restriction. And so I really hold myself accountable for weighing, measuring, counting, keeping track of how much I'm actually putting in my stomach. So vegetables at this point aren't a big deal for me. I'm not eating any breads, no pastas. I have had some rice. I've had a few pieces of sushi, and that's been fine for me. If you just have maybe 3 or 4 pieces, it's not a big deal as far as rice goes. So that's probably one of the things I've allowed myself that I didn't think I would, but it's worth it. And I've also had some wine. It's very controversial. A lot of people believe you shouldn't, or you should wait a year out or 6 months out. People have these different rules. Maybe the nutritionist or doctor has given them, but mine didn't bring that up at all with me. And I sort of used my own head to make that decision for myself. And so, yes, I do drink wine. And I'm happy that I do. So no processed food, no crackers, I'm not eating fake versions of stuff I love. There's lots of protein chips and quinoa chips and chia chips and fake ice cream. I'm not eating protein bars. They seem to be huge. I'm not eating protein bars. Any protein I'm getting is through my food. I think those things can be addicting. I see lots of kinds of them online, and they seem pretty popular. With not having a work schedule, I'm not on the run. And so I think things like protein bars and pre-mixed protein shakes work really well for people who have kids and who are working and are commuting and that kind of thing. So fortunately, that's not something I have to do. So no sugar other than what's occurring naturally in what I'm having, like milk, for example, has a lot of sugar. And I do take some sugar in my coffee and tea, which I have regular and decaf. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I make sure when I have something caffeinated, I just drink more water to make sure that dehydration isn't an issue. So I let myself have those, have no stomach issues. Everything goes down well for me. So, and no artificial flavors. I stopped using Crystal Light quite a while ago. There's some research being done that shows even with the artificial flavors, they'll spike your body into thinking it's going to get the sugar because you have the sweet taste. So it's expecting the sugar to come. So it primes your insulin. It primes everything to get ready for the sugar. And then the sugar doesn't come. And so all that extra stuff it pumps out waiting for the sugar gets stored as fat. So don't quote me on this. So with that bit of understanding I have, I've just decided not to do anything artificial. And it works for me so far. So I'll do that. And tons of water. I drink tons of water. I always have something. I'm either eating something or I'm drinking something. It seems to be the pattern of everything. So probably 10 to 12 cups of water a day easily, not including coffee and tea. So I thought maybe you could have too much water, and there is such a thing as having too much water, but my nutritionist assures me that's not my situation and that it's really important. And I noticed my skin has gotten better since I've been hydrating more. Something I'm noticing now is I don't have all the extra fat that I used to have, and I've got wrinkles here, and when I smile, I have wrinkles here, so I don't have all that lovely fatty collagen filling things in that I used to. So I'm noticing these a lot more. But that's okay. It's a trade-off. I'm good with that. Next thing I wanted to talk about was my being bipolar and the whole depression thing. I see lots of people online thinking they can't have the surgery because they're depressed. I don't see a lot of talk about mania at all. I see a lot of talk about depression, and I don't know if that's something they evaluate here in Canada or not. I have a psychiatrist that I've been working with since 2004, so 10 years, and my surgeon just wanted to know that I was working with somebody and know that I was really level and things were going well. And beyond that, I didn't have any psych evaluations or anything. So I think because I was already working with a professional, that wasn't an issue for me. But a lot of people in the States are finding they're being turned down, or the insurance company wants them to do some sort of mental health program or counseling or something to that effect for 6 months before they'll look at them again, which I thought was harsh at the beginning of this, at the beginning of all of this. But now that I've been reading online and I'm part of a group that deals with mental health, I see a lot of the problems that people had going into the surgery are the same at the other side of the surgery or worse. They're intensifying. And so I can see the value in trying to get a hold of some of those issues before you have the surgery. You already feel a bit out of control because you're making different food choices, you're changing your lifestyle, and to direct energy to your own self and your mental health, it's a lot more energy. So, and people are also surprised by feeling bad after the surgery. I know there was a few weeks there, I went through a slump. I guess it was all the build up to surgery, and then you get there and then you have the surgery, and then it's after the surgery, and it's like, okay, so surgery's over, and what? Like, what is this feeling? What is this? And so there was a bit of a gully there for a little bit, but that smoothed over, and yeah, I did have a difficult time. I had a few weeks of mania. I guess I had something called a cycling episode. So I was really high and really low daily. So it wasn't a bunch of really high days and then a bunch of low days. Daily, I was switching up from feeling really great to feeling really crappy. And that was just a matter of getting medication sorted out. I needed to come down off a lot of my medication, drop down the dosage. And once that leveled out, I was doing much better. So as you drop weight, your doctor needs to evaluate the amount that you're taking and drop the dosage so that you can feel more level. But that's possible. And just because you're on medication does not mean you can't have the surgery. I've been taking my medication all along. Granted, I had to grind it up initially for the first 2 weeks, I think, which is gross. But I managed to stay stable through all this. So it is possible. Be courageous, ask questions. Don't assume you can't do this surgery because of your history. Just do a lot of research, ask a lot of questions, and take that step forward. You may surprise yourself. So a little encouragement for those of us out there who have concerns about our mental health. Well, what's the next thing? Oh, with my not wanting to talk about my weight, rather my clothing size and all the changes I'm seeing with the shape of my body, I wanted to talk about something that in the community is called NNSV, which means non-scaled victory. So those are all the wonderful things that happen to you that have nothing to do with the scale, and they happen every day. And I have a bit of a list. I'm sure there's things I'm missing, and I will try to write them down the next time they happen. But I have I have a few that I wanted to mention because it's pretty exciting, and sometimes they're going on, but you don't really make a mental note of it until somebody mentions something, or you clue in that you're finally able to do something that you haven't been before. So I'm just going to give you a few of these so that you can see it's not all about the scale. So I have a neck. I have a neck now. I have a lap. I haven't had a lap for a long time. I can cross my legs. It's really nice when I get great big hugs from family and friends. They can actually wrap their arms around me now. It's not the big reach out and lean over to try to get around me, and it's a nice feeling to have that contact. I love that, actually. That's probably my best thing. I can bend over and do my shoes. I can do my own pedicures. It's simple, easy to bend over and get those puppies done. That was always a struggle for me, so that's a big deal for me. I can shave my legs easier. You women will understand that. It's a bit of a hassle when you got a big gut in the way and you're leaning over trying to do it, and sometimes you miss strips. So I think I have really well-shaved legs at this point. I have lots more room in the bathtub. Maybe this is too much information. Lots more room in the bathtub. Need a lot more water. I'm not displacing all that water, so that's kind of cool. And the bathtub has to run longer before I get in it. I can wrap a towel all the way around myself, which is a big one for me. I don't remember ever doing that. I'm sure I did when I was younger, but yeah, I realized that the other day and sort of made a point of walking around in the bathroom with it wrapped around myself because I was feeling pretty proud of that. So that's a good one. I'm losing slowly. I think I already talked about hair. I'm going to move on. I went out the other day to a restaurant and I fit in a booth without having to do the math of whether or not I could fit in it or not. You sort of do that initial scope of things and see if you're going to fit, and it wasn't even an issue. I didn't actually even think about it. Just slid in and it was comfortable. And this is probably one of the biggest ones that people talk about, and I'm finally there. I don't have to shop at plus size stores anymore, which is big. I can't remember the last time I could shop at a regular store, a department store, or one of the fancy stores. Oh, that's a big deal for me. I haven't replaced my whole wardrobe with new clothes or anything. I'm finding that I can go to Valley Village and Salvation Army and some of the thrift stores and be able to buy things for myself that fit. Usually those kinds of stores don't have clothes for bigger women or men, so I'm not used to shopping there. But what a great place to be when you're changing sizes. $5.99 for a t-shirt, $3.99 for a t-shirt instead of $30 or $40 at the plus size stores. Don't get me wrong, plus size stores are great. I would be walking naked without them for a very long time, so I'm grateful for them. One thing I do have to say about them is they like to put bigger people in bows and sparkly things and kittens and weird patterns. And so it's always been difficult to find clothes that look like regular clothes, not something that's built for a bigger person. If I could run a company, I would have a plus size company with regular, non-sparkly, stretchy clothes for people of bigger sizes. But that's not going to happen. But if you're out there and you have money, you can make a lot of money. A lot of us out there aren't the regular sizes. I guess people buy mostly online. That's not something I ever did. But yeah, I think that's how people are dealing with things. Yeah, so when we're talking about clothing, I was a 4X on top and a 26 on the bottom. So for those of you who don't know, it goes 4X, 3X, 2X, 1X, X, extra large. And I am down to an extra large from a 4X, which is huge. And I'm very excited about that. Doesn't leave much in my closet, but oh well, a problem to be had. I don't mind that at all. And I'm down to a 16, 18 in pants from a 24. So The scale may not reflect that, but certainly my body is changing and it's redistributing, and I think that's a victory. So I'm going with that. The other big thing I'm doing is on the 12th, I'm doing an 8K walk with my friends. They're going to run the marathon, but another friend and I are going to do the walk. I've never done anything like that before. I'm very excited to wear a number and a race shirt. Been so active since the surgery. That's one of the big NSDs for the surgery, is being able to be active and actually count on your body to support you while you're doing the activity. I'm so used to not believing that my body can hold up to that and not doing things because of that, versus trusting that I can do the things I want to do and stepping out the door and doing them. So big change, big lifestyle change there. I think that happens with a lot of people. And along with that comes self-confidence and self-esteem. And so stepping out to do this walk is a big deal to me, and I'm sure it'll be the first of many. I was hoping to run, and I know I talked about that in an early video, but once I started running, I really felt like I needed more of a base before I took that step. So walking's been great for me. And I live right by some old growth forest at the end of my street. So no reason, I don't have to drive anywhere. I don't have to take a bus. I just walk to the end of my road and hike. And I'm very fortunate. And I know that I don't have a gym membership yet. But so yeah, a pair of runners donated by Jeannie and a whole wilderness to walk through. So, and the other thing is I'm finding with self-confidence, I'm putting myself out there in a way I haven't been able to for a very long time. I've started volunteering, and the commitment to that really wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. Being in the world and moving in such a relaxed way really makes me feel like I'm the old Charlie, the one before all the weight, the one who has a lot to offer and has a lot of energy. Energy is a big thing with this, I'm finding. Yeah, waking up with energy, going to bed with energy, not having to nap in the day. Not that there's anything wrong with napping. I still nap now and then, but big changes in energy levels, which I think happens to everybody. I don't think I'm alone in this. I've also, once I decided to measure how I'm doing through my clothing, I also started to back away from some of the Facebook sites I'm on. I know I've said this before, but comparison is the thief of joy, and it's very true. And once you start buying into comparing yourself with other people, it's hard to feel positive about yourself, and you pick out all the things, nitpicking at yourself. And I find as I'm stepping away and not commenting on everything and not getting wound up by what I'm reading, and I'm feeling much better about myself. I still scroll through some of my positive pages, people who are out the same amount of time as I am, 4 months out from surgery, because you go through similar things and it's nice to get some answers about things as you go along. But the bigger, 12,000 or more people, I don't need to be on those sites. So it's a bit of a relief. I feel better about myself. And I've actually made a couple of really good contacts through my Facebook pages. And people I can count on, people who actually have been there maybe a month or so before me. And it's nice to support each other with getting your activity and making sure you're eating right. And just for those days you're feeling a little rough, it's nice to have somebody out there who's been through what you have. So Facebook can be good too. And at this point, so 4 months and 2 days, I'm feeling kind of over myself. I'm kind of tired about talking about the surgery. I may still bring it up. My intention is to not in conversations. People are still obviously really interested and they can see changes and they want to talk about it, which is great. And it's nice to know that you have that support. In a way, I'm over myself. I'm finding my day isn't filled full of numbers and measurements. It's time for reflecting and thinking about my insides and evaluating my life and the bigger picture of things. And one of the big things I'm reviewing is my expectations, both of myself, other people, situations, my life. It's a big word, and it is encompassing more than I had initially thought. So it's been really rewarding. And I don't know if some of it's my age. I'm 48. I don't know if approaching 50 has me feeling wiser. But anyways, it's a really positive thing for me. I'm feeling energetic about it. I have good people around me, some who are going through difficult situations. Some are doing really well. It's nice to have a balance of energy around you. And I feel like I'm connecting with the people who are also reflecting on their lives and their spirituality and expectations and the stories that they tell about themselves. So it's a nice place to be. I'm pretty happy. I think that might be it. Want to thank you for your support. I know it hasn't all been easy because I have, up until now, been feeling bad because I was comparing myself with others. Maybe 2 weeks ago, this has opened up for me. So coming around the 4-month mark, I'm feeling more like myself, and I think my friends can see a change in me as well. And I'm going to step out the door and try new things and put myself out there. The more I've been putting myself out there, the more great things are happening to me and opportunities are coming to me. And so I kind of believe in that energy that goes back and forth between you putting it out there and things coming back to you. So sounds a little oatmeal-ish maybe, but it's where I'm at. So thank you for coming by. Thanks for following me. I'll make a better effort to update you. If you have any questions, leave messages for me. And yeah, thanks again. I will see you next post. Bye.